Hi, my fantastic chefs. Welcome to Recipe Specialty, where we show you how to make a variety of recipes from eggs to eggceptional. In this video, I'm going to try out a sausage with apples and onions recipe I learned from the glorious and lovely Lydia Bastianovich. What I used to prepare this dish was some sweet Italian sausages, a few Granny Smith apples, Vidalia onions, plus I used apple cider vinegar, a little bit of olive oil, a little bit of crushed red pepper, some dried sage, and good old salt and pepper. With that said, let's get cooking. Start off by quartering the apples and remove the inside core and seeds. We're using Granny Smith apples for their tartness and, more importantly, their ability to stay together during cooking rather than crumbling apart and turning into mush. Then quarter the onions, cutting through the root end so that they don't fall apart. Keeping the root end attached keeps the layers of the onion intact as well. Otherwise, the petals will separate from each other during cooking. Also, we're using Vidalia onions for their sweetness. Now that you've got your mise en place prepared, drizzle on some olive oil into a heated pan and start adding the sausages so that they can start browning. Try not to overcrowd the pan like I'm clearly doing here. Brown each side of the sausage for about 2 minutes per side. It may take a bit longer, like it did for me, depending how many sausages you're trying to cook at once. Don't be ashamed to cook the sausages in multiple batches, like apparently I am. I'm the king of overcrowding. This isn't my first rodeo. I overcrowd everything. I may preach it, but I certainly don't practice it. This isn't one of those situations where, like, in your mind, you have to carry all your grocery bags in at once, or you'll feel like a lesser human being, and they're going to take away your ability to grocery shop at the store. I mean, that's what goes through in my mind when I'm carrying the grocery bags in. And that's what's going through my mind right now as I'm overcrowding the pan with sausages. Don't do it, people. Don't do it. Once the sausages are browned, remove to a plate and set aside for now. Next, add the onions so they can caramelize. Some people will use a different pan or even remove the sausage grease, but there's all that delicious fond at the bottom of this pan, and that sausage grease means flavor, baby. If you pour this out, I know in my heart of hearts, grandmas all over the planet are shedding a tear that you wasted this opportunity. Don't let Granny down. Granny Smith especially. She's putting in a lot of work for this dish. Speaking of which, it's time to toss her into the mix. Add those Granny Smith apples now that the onions have had their chance in the spotlight. Give it a good mix. Then add in the apple cider vinegar. Doesn't matter if you cover the apples and onions or not, it's going to cook down anyway. And then give it another good mix. We're using the apple cider vinegar to deglaze the pan. You could also use red wine vinegar, white vinegar even, regular old apple cider, or any kind of cider, or even beer. You really just need something with a little acidity. Use your tongs or a spatula or a wooden spoon to scrape off the fond at the bottom of the pan. And then add the sage. I'm using dried sage, but if you had fresh sage leaves, that would probably go even better. I would just remove them when it's done cooking. But here I am just sprinkling on some sage, and then I'm adding a little bit of the crushed red pepper. You could add a little bit more or just avoid this altogether if you don't want it to have any little bit of spice or a kick. I'm not one who can handle the spice, I gotta be honest. And then give it another good stir. Then it's time to add the sausages back to the pan, along with the juices that released onto the plate while they were resting. You want to capture that flavor as well, baby. Then cover with the lid, lower the heat to medium-low, and let it cook for 20 minutes. Once done, remove from the oven, serve, and enjoy. Please let me know what you think. If you made this, did you tweak it at all? Do you have any suggestions? Is there anything you would do differently? I'd love to hear all your feedback. Thank you, Lydia. If you all liked this video, do me a huge favor, hit that like button, subscribe, check out the website. Ultimately, let's eat!